MAGA diehard GOP Congresswoman Elise Stefanik was seemingly set to glide through her Senate confirmation hearing to serve as Donald Trump's United Nations ambassador. She even started a formal goodbye tour to her time in the House. In fact, she stepped down from a leadership position and had posted retrospectives on her proud decade plus in Congress. But that expected transition came to a dramatic halt Thursday when Trump abruptly withdrew her nomination and announced Stefanik would actually remain in the House. Sorry. In his words, with a very tight majority, I don't want to take a chance on anyone else running for Elise's seat. It was a stark blow to a perceived rising star in the MAGA world and proof that steadfast loyalty to Donald Trump does not guarantee anything with Trump, although he does require it. The bigger story here is that the president and his party might be in some electoral trouble if you kind of do the math, and Trump clearly knows it. And with 2 House seats in Trump territory on the line in next week's special elections, consider this a make-or-break moment. Joining me now, Julie Urginski, Democratic strategist and author of the Salty Politics newsletter on Substack, and MSNBC senior political contributor Matthew Dowd. He was chief strategist for the Bush-Cheney 2004 presidential campaign. Good to have both of you with us. Julie, your response to Trump's withdrawing Elise Stefanik's nomination for UN ambassador, it takes a lot for Trump to change his mind on somebody that he wants. Matt Gaetz, he quit because of everything that he went through. Trump was kind of sticking by him still till the very end. Elise Stefanik, it's about politics and math, and her loyalty to him does not matter anymore. What message does it send that he is opting to keep her in Congress?
Sounds to me like it's a little bit of panic. It's interesting to me that they didn't wait, or he didn't wait until after next Tuesday to see what the outcome of those 2 congressional races are in Florida. Florida 1 and Florida 6 are both deep, deep red districts, so it would not surprise or shock me if the Republicans held on to it. But the fact that he pulled her early, and in the wake of a huge loss in Pennsylvania, there was a state Senate race in Pennsylvania, a seat that had been held by Republicans for decades, and part of it is in Lancaster County, which has not elected a Democrat since the 19th century. And yet Republicans just blew that seat. They just lost that seat for the first time in a very long time to a Democrat state senator. And so as a result of that, it sounds to me like they are panicking about not just the outcome of the races in Florida, which, as I said, are going to be difficult for Democrats to pick up, but about New York 21, which is Stefanik's seat, which has been held by Democrats before. I suppose he thinks she's the strongest person in that race. I'm not so sure. There's a conservative who's declared. We'll see if he runs in 26 now that she's back in the race, but it's obvious that they did not want a special election in 25, because if they lost the 2 Florida seats next week and lost Stefanik's seat a few months from now, that would spell a lot of trouble for the Republican majority in the House.
Yeah, and it seems that the GOP, Matt, is now dealing with the fallout out of this. It's going to land on Mike Johnson's lap. Stefanik will have to significantly rebuild. She tries to settle back in Congress. He said, Mike Johnson has said that Stefanik will rejoin the Republican House leadership, but he'll likely have to create some kind of new position for her, an honorary title of sorts, because she's not going to have any official role. When you kind of look at this, what does this mean for Stefanik, and is this inadvertently weakening the House GOP?
Well, first, I think Julie gave an excellent explanation of how the politics of this. I mean, this just shows me that, and this is something I've never quite understood, that how disposable everybody in the Trump world is. And no matter who they are, they're disposable if they don't fit whatever Donald Trump wants to get done in this. No matter how much loyalty you send, it's only one way. Loyalty is important to Donald Trump, but it only goes in one direction, towards him, not away from him. I mean, I know Elise Stefanik. She actually was a researcher on a book I co-authored back in 2004. She was sort of a Romney kind of Republican back then. Yeah. And when she worked at the Bush White House, that's what she was. She made a complete transformation, as your lead-in said, complete transformation in the course of this. And her whole goal was where she was about to achieve, which was this position, and then launch to something else. I think in her mind, she probably thought one day she was going to run for president in this. But it reinforces to mind, in putting the politics, which I think is real important, putting the politics aside, is how I don't understand how Republicans, Congress and in Senate, continue to stay loyal to Donald Trump when he has zero loyalty to them in any way, shape, or form. And Elise Stefanik is a prime example. No matter what you do, no matter how much you grovel, no matter what you do, if you don't fit what he wants, you're discarded.
Julie, there's reportedly a view in the White House that there's not even a need for a United Nations ambassador under Trump. And we, of course, know how the president feels about the United Nations. Do you think it's possible that we'll see Trump leave this role empty? And if so, what message would that be sending on a global scale?
I think he won't be able to resist sending somebody down there to vote, as we have in the last few months with Russia and North Korea and Belarus and Iran, to protect the Russians. Look, we used to be the bulwark on the Security Council against the Russians. We are now joining the Russians on the National Security Council against the free world to effectively further Vladimir Putin's agenda and the agenda of other authoritarians around the world. So I don't think he's going to be able to resist having somebody do that. The real question is, as Matt pointed out, why somebody like Elise Stefanik, who is nothing if not 100% ambitious, would want that kind of role. Because she knows full well, as Matt pointed out, she's a Bushy. She came out of the Bush White House when she was a young woman. She's a Romney Republican. She's had a complete physical and moral transformation to suit Donald Trump's whims. But nevertheless, when the history books are written, does Elise Stefanik, who thinks she's going to go down there and defend Israel and pound her fist on behalf of the Israelis, is really not what she's going to be doing, or anybody in that spot is going to be doing. They will be having to cast votes with the Russians and other despotic nations against the free world. And so if that's the legacy that anybody wants for their own personal ambition, I think that is an incredibly short-sighted thing to do. And actually, if I were Elise Stefanik, in the back of her mind, this may be a blessing in disguise. She will not have to disgrace herself or the history books as to what this president would force her to do when she would take votes, as they just did a few months ago or a few weeks ago, where they literally voted against Ukraine with the Russians, which is just, to me, morally beyond reprehensible.
Matt, final thought to you. I mean, how should Democrats be responding to all this? What, if anything, should they be saying about the chaos of this administration?
I would just put a greater spotlight on it. When somebody's shooting themselves in the foot and showing they're incredibly vulnerable on this, just let them keep going. You know, just open the door. You don't need to say much. Just say, listen, it's a circus over there. I mean, I paraphrased the other day on X, not on X, on Blue Sky the other day. There's an old Turkish proverb that says, when a clown tries to become king, when a crown enters the palace, he doesn't become king. The whole kingdom becomes a circus. And in this case, when a clown becomes president, when a clown walks in the White House, he doesn't become president. The whole administration becomes a circus.
Circus is putting it politely, Matt, I'm going to have to say. The word that I would say is not something I can say on cable TV. But Julie and Matt, thank you so much for sticking around. Greatly appreciate it. Sorry, you're going to stick around. We're going to talk to you more. Greatly appreciate your insights on that, because we have to talk about Elon Musk getting emotional over a Democrat making fun of Tesla stock. We'll tell you about that.
For the acute treatment of migraine with or without aura in adults, Nurtec ODT can provide relief in 2 hours, which can last up to 2 days. Don't take if allergic to Nurtec ODT. Allergic reactions can occur even days after use, like trouble breathing and rash. Get help if you have trouble breathing, swelling of the face, mouth, tongue, or throat. Common side effect is nausea. Ask your doctor about Nurtec ODT.
The fact that St. Jude take care of all this is what's keeping my baby girl alive.
It's everything for us. We wouldn't know what to do if we couldn't afford for our little girl to survive, and St. Jude gives us that.
Known for creating memories. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer. FDA approved for 18 types of cancer, including certain early stage and advanced cancers. One of those cancers is a kind of bladder and urinary tract cancer called advanced urothelial cancer. Keytruda may be used with the medicine enfortumab vedotin in adults when your bladder or urinary tract cancer has spread or cannot be removed by surgery.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, persistent or severe muscle pain or weakness, muscle cramps, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, such as Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, lupus, or myasthenia gravis, or Guillain-Barré syndrome, an organ, tissue, or stem cell transplant, or receive chest radiation. Keytruda can harm your unborn baby.
Keytruda is an immunotherapy and is also being studied in hundreds of clinical trials exploring ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true, Keytruda. See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda could be right for you.
I think I changed my mind about these glasses.
Yeah, it happens. That's why VisionWorks gives you 100 days to change your mind. It's simple. Anything else I can help you with?
Like what?
VisionWorks. See the difference.
Behold the Branch Ergonomic Chair, a symbiotic companion for the working human, with 8 points of ergonomic adjustment and lumbar support, all for a price that's remarkably humane. Branch, wildly ergonomic.
Honey Love bras are the most comfortable bras I've ever worn. The best feeling is when we take off our bras. It's not true. Honey Love bras have no underwire, so there's never any digging into your skin. There is some boning on the sides, which make it super comfortable and supportive. I love the cleavage that it gives me. And one of my favorite parts, no back fat, never. The back straps are so wide. I could work out, I could run, I could dance. It's fun, it's beautiful, it's supportive, and I will say again and again and again and again.
Shop bras and more at honeylove.com.
Want the effects of Viagra, but faster? Sparks dissolve under your tongue for results that kick in faster than pills. Plus, their powerful 2-in-1 formula includes tadalafil, so they last longer. Faster, stronger, longer. See if Rose Sparks are right for you.
Verizon and AT&T announced price hikes a total of 10 times in the past 2 years. Families can switch to T-Mobile and get all the benefits of their plans while saving 20%. T-Mobile blows the competition away.
So I can take the steak home?
Yep.
And as many butterfly shrimp as I want?
You got it.
Cake?
You can take home everything.
Those tongs? Ice cream machine? Dessert bar? That guy's hat?
We're gonna let that guy keep his hat, but want some more broccoli?
No thanks, I'm good.
You had Tim Waltz, who's a huge jerk, running around on stage with a Tesla stock price, where the stock price had gone in half, and he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do! What a creep! What a jerk! Like who derives joy from that?
Exactly, Elon. Who could ever derive joy from people suffering? Who could ever take a chainsaw to this great democracy, reveling in the firings of hundreds of employees, stripping vital health services, including free HIV/AIDS medication, from our global missions? You can see where I'm going with this, right? First Buddy Elon Musk dropped those crocodile tears earlier this week in an exclusive interview with, of course, Fox, where he also introduced the country to the chief lieutenants of Doge. Here's a quick sampling of what Musk claims his pop-up government agency is doing.
Well, this is a revolution, and I think it might be the biggest revolution in government since the original revolution. But at the end of the day, America is going to be in much better shape.
Oh, yeah, there's a revolution afoot. That was made clear today outside Tesla dealerships across the globe. From here in the U.S. to Germany and London, more than 200 demonstrations were coordinated as part of a global day of action against Tesla. Julie and Matthew are both back with me. Julie, let's start with that moment of Elon Musk complaining about Tim Waltz mocking Tesla stock going down. I thought Musk said comedy was legal now when he bought X, but he seems to be very upset by it when he sees his own value decline.
Hey, buddy, we live in a capitalist society, and, all of us have the right to vote with our wallets. I'll give you an example. I, 2 weeks ago, literally bought my first electric car. And when I walked into that dealership, the guy said to me, were you interested in a Tesla and you came here because of Elon Musk? And I said, actually, you're absolutely right. I would have bought a Tesla, except I refused to give a penny of my money to Elon Musk. That's capitalism. And so if Elon Musk is upset that people like me are not buying Teslas, well, that's the ramifications of being a complete and utter jerk to vulnerable people, which is what Elon Musk has made a habit of doing. He could have stuck to making cars and people might have bought them, except for the fact that a lot of us don't want to support somebody who is thriving and laughing at the pain of people in this country and around the world. There are, as you said, children in the third world who are dying, literally dying because of Elon Musk. There are people in this country, veterans and others, who've been laid off because of Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world and thinks this is all hilarious and to the good. He's threatening Medicaid. He's threatening Social Security. That directly impacts tens of millions of Americans. And so as a result, why would anybody feel sorry for Elon Musk? You reap what you sow, and he's reaping the whirlwind now.
Yeah, and he bought himself a president of the United States. That's how much it cost him to be able to have this position in which now the rest of the society can decide whether or not they want to support him for what he has done. Talk to me, Matthew, about this so-called Doge revolution that Musk is boasting about. I mean, compared to the actual protests we're seeing, I think he has the wrong idea of what kind of revolution is happening in this country based on what we just showed. And people like Julie, and I'm sure other Americans, certainly it's happening in Europe as well, with people using their wallets to express their disappointment with Elon Musk and Tesla.
Well, first, I just want to say, when you have a consumer-facing brand, and then you're offended that the consumers, because of actions and words you say, don't want to buy your car, it's his own doing.
Right.
So, I mean, this is, and added to the fact, as Julie just pointed out, is most of the consumers of his brand are the vast pocket of people that he's offended. That's what's so bizarre about a guy that doesn't seem to understand his own car brand or whatever in the course of this. I mean, I think the Doge thing is such a, I mean, it sets in my view, it sets the Democrats up perfectly for 2026 and 2028 in a sort of economic populism, where you got this richest man in the world who shows up in America, didn't start Tesla, didn't start any of the companies he's gotten rich off of, but he's basically maneuvered himself in a way to get rich, and now he's positioned himself in a White House where he's not elected, he's not appointed, he doesn't have to get confirmed by the Senate, and he's in charge along with all his 23-year-olds who've never held a political office or been involved in any kind of governance before, making decisions on this, and he has no accountability. And as I thought about this coming in tonight, I was thinking, what is this akin to, what Donald Trump has done with Elon Musk and putting him in charge of the budget? To me, it's akin to Al Capone taking his money launderer and saying he's going to be in charge of the Chicago police budget. That's exactly what this is like. Is Elon Musk is a money launderer who's now thinks he's going to be in charge of the budget that actually is supposed to control him and what he's doing in the course of this. And so he's going to start a revolution, all right, but the revolution is going to be aimed, in my view, at what the Republicans are allowing him to do.
There's one more.
Go ahead, Julie.
Sorry, if I could just add something to something that Matthew said. If you looked at an interview that Elon Musk did with his Doge boys sitting behind him, they were all of a very specific type, right? They were all men. The woman who was legally in charge of Doge, whatever her name is, none of us actually remember her name, but the woman they all swore is the person who's actually in charge of Doge, not Elon Musk, was nowhere to be found. And this was a uniform group of young white men who are making decisions for veterans, for the elderly, for people living abroad who look nothing like them. And that really resonated with me, because as much as they can scream and talk about DEI, this is affirmative action for a very specific type of guy. And that's all it is, who are making decisions about people who look nothing like them.
I was going to say, I agree with your description on all of them. I wouldn't use the word young, though, to describe what looked like some of those folks in that picture. We were told they were going to be like all these like young hotshot kids from college. It didn't seem like they were any of that based on just the observation of the naked eye, but who knows?
Maybe I'm getting old.
What's that?
Maybe I'm just getting old. They look young to me.
Not at all. Not at all. Matthew, Republicans like Senator John Kennedy, who actually support Musk, has suggested the first buddy and the Doge team do more press and regular briefings. I can't think that after watching that interview at Fox that is a good idea. But do you think putting these guys out there is actually going to do more harm than good?
It'll help the Democrats in the course of this. And I mean, having Elon Musk do more press briefings and more PR is like a restaurant that serves poison food and nobody wants to eat it and say, let's print up more menus. That's all this is. Like, do more PR to what? So people are more aware of what they're possibly doing in the course of this, which they don't want. I mean, it's every time somebody knows that the product they're serving up is awful, They say, let's run TV ads. That's exactly what that is.
I mean, listen, the only theory I can come up with, and it's one that people have suggested, is that Donald Trump continues to use Elon Musk as a heat shield and will one day just get rid of him like he would like Elise Stefanik or anyone else. He's using him for a purpose now, maybe to fund a campaign through the midterms, and then afterwards he'll probably dump him at some point. Julie Roginski, Matthew Dowd, greatly appreciated as always. Great to see both of you. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Next.